British Vintage Paperback Book Haul. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and we're going to get back to paperbacks now after the last video, which we did on the New York Yankees. Lucille did a rant, but that was really like my feelings about the way the Yankees played when they lost 14-7, and but they won yesterday, so who knows what they're doing.
Back to being a fan.
And back to being a 50-50 team.
Get to read books.
Anyway, we're getting back to books. So these are some British paperbacks. Fontana's Arrow books from the 70s and 80s. Thrillers, crime novels, and different kinds of suspense and adventure books, and a few other things thrown in. So I thought it was a pretty interesting group of books. I hope that you enjoy. We're going to take a look at them now. First off, we have in the Arrow book, Dennis Wheatley, Uncharted Seas. Dennis Wheatley wrote a lot of suspense, mystery. Fontana book, The Private Life of Mona Lisa. I didn't even know Mona Lisa had a private life, but this brave author dug up all the inside particulars. Fontana book, Wreckers Must Breathe by Hammond Innes. Hammond Innes wrote a lot of suspense crime books. There's an earlier Arrow book, number 284. What's this from? This is from the 1950s, 1958. The Fabulous Valley, Dennis Wheatley. I don't think Dennis Wheatley's books are available in the United States.
And how do you have them?
I mean, they weren't printed and published in the United States. I don't believe. This is from the 1970s. This is Frighteners. Stories of Horror and the Unknown. Alistair MacLean was a famous author who wrote a lot of great suspense and war books and things. This is South by Java Head. It's a Fontana book. And that's the cover, and it's got a nice wraparound cover. Naval adventure during the war, during World War II. Hammond Innes is back, The Wreck of the Mary Dear by it's a Fontana paperback. These aren't rare books, these aren't expensive books, but they're books that maybe you haven't seen, and some interesting things, I think, for certain people might find certain books interesting here. So Herman Wouk, I don't know, W-O-U-K. Don't Stop the Carnival. It's a Fontana book. He wrote The Winds of War, which was a big fat, a couple of books that were Winds of War and War and Remembrance, which were big, thick paperbacks. Great book, and also a series, a TV series that was had I can't remember the name of the actor who played in it, but he played Philip Marlowe too. Joy Adamson, Born Free, Fontana. That was a popular movie. This is probably from around the 70s. Desmond Bagley is another one of those suspense, mystery, crime writers. This is Wyatt's Hurricane, Fontana book. A nice Arrow book, number 543, Dennis Wheatley. The Haunting of Toby Jug, really cool book. Cover, the giant spider going after a guy with crutches. That's a bad situation to be in. There's another Dennis Wheatley Arrow book, Bill for the Use of a Body, a Julian Day story. And Here's a British Star book. Can You Speak Venusian? A Trip Through the Mysteries of the Cosmos by Patrick Moore. I have no idea what that's about. I do not think it's science fiction. I think it's some kind of philosophy stuff.
There's a spaceship on the cover.
Yeah, but aliens, philosophy, I don't know. It's not a science fiction writer that I recognize, and I know I would know it, so it's probably not. Looks more like ESP, UFO.
There's a spaceship.
Would you believe that the Earth is flat, that the sun is cold, or that we are being watched by alien creatures from their flying saucers? So that's what this is like. Patrick Moore has collected information of the more unconventional ideas of our time. So that's what this is like, a kind of Eric von Däniken kind of pseudoscience. But it's cool. It's interesting stuff. I read a bunch of those books back in the 70s, and I survived them. The Silver Bears by Paul Erdman. And The Undertaker's Gone Bananas by Paul Zindel, another Fontana book. So we'll put these over on the side, and we're going to go through a new stack. This is science fiction, The Clewiston Test by Kate Wilhelm. There's a science fiction one that's snuck in there. The Thin Red Line by James Jones. This is a Fontana. This is a great World War II novel, fighting in the war. Alistair MacLean is back with The Way to Dusty Death, another Fontana book. Another Fontana book, Ireland's Civil War by Colton Younger. Dennis Wheatley is back again in an Arrow book, Such Power is Dangerous. Wheatley wrote some good stuff. He was very, very popular in England and the UK, but yeah, I don't think his books were published here in the United States, or they didn't get a big, you didn't see a lot of his books published here. Hammond Ennis, Golden Soak. These are all Arrow, Fontana, mostly like a lot of Fontana from the 70s and 80s. This is Fire Force by Jack Hamilton Teed. This is a British Star book. I think it's World War II or Vietnam. Special Forces. So this must be Vietnam era. This is a really good book that I read. This is Dillinger by Harry Patterson. Real good crime novel. True story about, the bank robber. An Arrow book. Alfred Tack, P.A. to Murder. Another Arrow book. John Harris, The Claws of Mercy. Joan of the Lilies, a historical adventure set in the time of Charles VII by Maureen Peters. Interesting historical novel. Alistair MacLean, The Dark Crusader. Really nice Fontana copy. This is from 1973, the 13th printing of that. Sweet and Sour Labrador. I don't know what that is. Jasper Garat. I don't know what this is. It's probably a humor book or a cooking book or something. Dupes on this one, Dennis Wheatley. I already showed this one, Bill for the Use of a Body. And we'll go look through the rest of them. Fontana, The Man-Eaters of Savo by J.H. Patterson. This is a great book too. This is a true story about pride of man-eating lions in Africa. And the hunter, they had to have a hunter come in to go after them, and it didn't go all that well. They had a lot of problems and a lot of trouble, and the lions attacked the hunter and his people. And this was also made into a pretty good movie with the same title, I think. Really good. Animal attacks and people that hunters that go into the jungle after wild animals like lions. Good stuff. And it's true. It's based on a true story. Jonathan Gash, Lovejoy, Gold from Gemini. Nice alligator cover. I don't know what this is it's Netta Muscat, Candle in the Sun. I don't know what that is. Maybe a romance of some kind. Netta Muscat, again. This is After Rain. It's an old, number 592, an old Arrow book. So it's a romance, and it's from 1961. These arrows are nice, though. They're nice yellow spines, like a little bit like Kenny's Doors, but earlier on in the 50s. And they really look nice. Hammond Innes, Campbell's Kingdom. Do you need me to move these over? Or no? Okay.
How many more you have?
Edgar Wallace, Room 13, an Arrow book. Yeah, see, they got rid of the yellow spines later on. Edgar Wallace. Edgar Wallace is still pretty good, a pretty good read. He was unbelievable. He was like the Stephen King of crime in his day. I mean, just tons of books he wrote, and they were published all over. And his story about the three or four guys that do special. I can't remember the name of the books, but they go after. They kind of do try to make things right with crime, and
make things right with crime.
I mean, make
like
help
vigilantes.
People.
You
They're
mean?
like vigilantes. They're gentlemen vigilantes.
Oh my goodness.
There were 3 of them, and then there were 4 of them, and I cannot remember the name to tell you the truth. And I read a couple of them, and they were really good. The next one is The Salzburg Connection by Helen McInnes, and this was made into a movie. A historical novel, Fontana, nice condition one. It's from 1973, Ninth Impression, Hanover to Windsor. I guess that's about the royal families and stuff in England. Desmond Bagley again, The Enemy, new in paperback. Another science fiction one snuck in here, Barry Malzberg, The Men Inside. It's an Arrow science fiction book from 1976. Barry Malzberg's a good writer. I like his science fiction. The Andra Fiasco by William Garner, another crime novel, Fontana. Another dupe, Such Power is Dangerous, Dennis Wheatley, Arrow books. Agatha Christie, The Sittaford Mystery by Fontana book. And this is a pretty cool, gross monster-looking guy cover. Arrow number 576 from reprinted, second printing, 1963. The Eunuch of Stamboul by Dennis Wheatley, a Secret Service story. He wrote spy, Secret Service stories, suspense, occult, supernatural, all kinds of things Dennis Wheatley wrote. Great cover art, charming fellow there. Well, that's a look at some British 70s, 80s vintage paperbacks. They're not way collectible, but some of them are books that might be of interest to people who read certain of these authors. Authors are still popular, so like Dennis Wheatley and others. And hope you enjoyed this look at these books. And if you did, give us a comment, thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for looking.